to beg your indulgence for one moment.
Aaron Rex, we miss you. So this week we asked both the Irish Wrestling Forum and the WrestleNation Forum on Facebook. We put a poll on both and asking you guys, who do you think is the best wrestler, past and present, who got by their wrestling skills as opposed to their promo skills. Overall, we got 69 votes combined from both forums. Thank you all so much for your anticipation. Really appreciate it. And there were 4 names that stood out. Like, we're going to name them all like individually. Number 1, obviously, by a huge 36%.
Go the other way.
Should I go the other way? Okay, yeah. Go the other way. Well, we'll just mention the names that were mentioned that were like before were Zack Sabre Jr., AJ Styles, Bret Hart, Dynamite Kids, The Great Khali, Goldberg, Ultimate Warrior, Roman Reigns, Ricardo Rodriguez, Sonny Boy, Heath Slater, The Shockmaster, and Doink the Clown. Were all mentioned by maybe 1 or 2 people.
Yep.
But the vote that stand out, we're going to start with Daniel Bryan, who got 12% of the votes. Now, he wasn't a man known for his promos, but his wrestling skills were second to none to him.
Promos took a step up in the last few years, but it was mostly just the yes chance.
It was the yes chance that really helped him, yeah.
He didn't have the strongest promo game. He let his wrestling do the talking.
So he made up for a movement, which again was a big movement.
He definitely did, yeah. And he just made it for his commitment and desire. That's why the crowd warmed to him so much.
Exactly.
That's why he became the star that he was. That's why he's still around today as well as GM of SmackDown.
There you go. In third place with 14% of the votes was Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds. Here's a man who never spoke at all.
That's the thing,
especially in his WCW days.
I can never know. I didn't really watch much from his WCW. It was more when he came over to WWE.
Yeah.
I don't remember him doing a promo ever.
I remember he was involved in an angle with the Hardys, and it was before Matt Hardy and Lita got together. Before that, Dean Malenko was almost stalking Lita.
Oh yeah, I remember he was trying to like go out on a date with her and everything like this, but I've never actually, other than that, those like pre-recorded pieces in the back, I've never seen him actually be in
fact, it's very strange because if you look back to his WCW days, and then when he came into WWE after between the Radicals, he had like a gigolo sort of gimmick going for him, like, you know. So,
but he did have that sort of look, to be fair.
Yeah,
he did.
And you wore the Hawaiian shirt backstage, so that's kind of it. Like, so he looks like one of those characters from Scarface. But as a wrestler, I mean, he was one of the best wrestlers. He's one of the best technical wrestlers in the 90s. He's like probably, I don't know how to describe him, but the quality of matches he'd have with the likes of Guerrero, Mysterio, Jericho. Especially, he had a great rivalry with Chris Jericho in WCW as well. So, and again, that was such a good rivalry because Jericho he was so charismatic. Here's a guy, now Jericho's almost the exact opposite. Although he's well known for his wrestling, he's more known for his promos, you could argue.
Yeah.
And that rivalry just clicked so much. Like, it's talked about like on the Monday Night Wars, like if you watch through all that stuff. So
yeah, for sure. That's the way sometimes we do see it now, especially with great rivalries. One person is great on the mic, the other person makes up for it in the ring. That, and like you're saying with Jericho and Malenko, that's what's happening there. But I'd still go back and watch some Dean Malenko matches. I'd have to go back to WCW now and start watching a few more. It's more the old WWE matches I've watched of them, so I might have to go back to even further.
You won't be disappointed. In second place, at 17%, Brock Lesnar. I can completely understand this because his best promos weren't his; they were Paul Heyman's.
Paul Heyman is obviously the advocate, and it works better because even when Brock was younger, he never did great promos, I don't think. Well,
he would say something now and then with a good tone, especially towards the end of his first 2 years. He was really improving then, because Paul Heyman, who wasn't his manager back then, he was when Paul Heyman was general manager of SmackDown at the time.
I think he was just blunt. That's the way it was.
Yeah,
he was just blunt with people, and that's the way he is now. He's just brutally honest, and sometimes that doesn't transcend into a good promo. So it's a good idea to have someone there like Paul Heyman, who's actually been there pretty much since the beginning. I remember when he first came in. He's
been there by and large his entire career, either with him or against him. Like for the first 2 years, he was his agent. He was in a rivalry against him when he was into Kurt Angle on the Big Show. When he came back, he was by himself. And then when he was WWE champion second time was when Paul Heyman came in again as general manager, and then they got together again, and they were working as associates with each other, like, so, or working almost for each other or helping each other. So, and then when he came back, he was his what's it's not the agent, the advocate. And obviously, as a wrestler, like Brock Lesnar is as scary as it gets, like Suplex City, you know yourself.
Suplex City, the nightmare of Suplex City.
I wondered what that was about.
Yeah.
You said it in such a tone, I actually get it now. The nightmare of makes perfect sense. And obviously, number one by an overwhelming 36%, like by and large, like the huge overwhelming is Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Now we're just going to mention his wrestling here. Like there's no in here, but we have to say, now as a promo guy, he wasn't that bad. He didn't stand out, but obviously his wrestling was far more well known because he was such an intense guy in the ring.
Well, yeah, he was sort of that quiet guy who would just come down to the ring, wrestle, and win his match, and then go into the back.
That's it.
Now, obviously, as he got more popular throughout the years, he had to do promos because he couldn't put the WWE title belt on him without having him do some sort of promos. So he worked hard on it, and he was okay with them, but I think that's the thing, he is best known for his wrestling attributes for sure. And he was like, that just shows that's perfect. If you're not too good on the mic, just let your wrestling do the talking. That's what he did.
Yeah, and he went all out. And what was great about him is that there was never a bad match with him. Never a bad match.
And you were saying about Dean Malenko and Chris Jericho having the great rivalry. Benoit and Jericho's rivalries as well. That
was actually a fantastic rivalry in 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because again, Jericho could speak for both of them. Even though Benoit would held his own, he makes some I love actually Benoit's creepy streak maybe in 2000s, like especially during when he was rival Triple H. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Involving him and Stephanie.
Even the times he wrestled with Angle as well. Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit put on some of the best matches I've seen ever.
Royal Rumble 2003. Was that? I think it was 2003 when it was against Kurt Angle. Yeah.
Was it 2003?
I think it was. That was one of the greatest WWE Championship matches of all time.
Okay. I'll take your word to 2003. I keep getting 2004 in my head. I don't know why. But
now, before we move on, there's just someone we're missing here. Like, I feel like there's someone we could mention here that would be up there as well. William Regal.
William Regal could do a promo though.
He could do a promo.
He could cut a promo, no problem.
Outstanding wrestler, but like he could do a promo as well.
He could definitely cut a promo. There was no problems there with that. I don't know. I guess Tajiri was always quite quiet.
Yeah, but that's because of the language barrier. You could say that a lot.
Well, his English is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know who else could there be.
The first person I had in mind was William Regal, but then again I just realised, he could do a promo. But then again,
Big Show was never really that great.
No. Big Show could do a promo, but really? He could do it. Yeah, he could. Yeah, okay. He could. No, he's very. He has a lot of variety in him. He has on his character. Like he played different types of characters over the years. So
you mean heel or face,
exactly.
face, heel, face.
That takes talent. It takes talent to do that. So.